Good morning, class. My name is Mr. Morrell. Today, we're going to be doing ultimate frisbee, specifically focusing on the forehand pass and the backhand pass or throw. Does anybody know how to play ultimate frisbee, or has played ultimate frisbee before? Good. So, there actually are three throws in ultimate frisbee. There is the backhand, forehand, and the overhead throw. But today we won't really focus on the overhead because of like limited space, stuff like that. For the backhands, what we want to focus on is making sure that our finger is on top, kind of just like, it's kind of tough to use a paper plate, but keeping your finger on top and keeping your other fingers underneath with your thumb on top as well. So you're kind of just focusing on just kind of flicking your wrist, turning your body sideways always is important. And you want to make sure you're stepping with the same foot as like your arm. So I'm right-handed, so I'm stepping with my right foot. For the backhand at least. For the front, or the forehand pass, we want to step with our opposite foot, kind of like we're like skipping a stone, I like to call it. So you're kind of going across your body and you're kind of like flicking it. You have your fingers underneath in like a peace symbol, and if you kind of keep them close together, you can kind of get more distance behind it. But if you just kind of hold it like with a peace symbol, it's a little more comfortable and it's easier to throw that way. But then you have like your thumb on top, and you're kind of stepping with opposition while you're kind of going across. So you're kind of just flicking your wrist, turning your body, making sure you're straight. So both throws are very useful in ultimate frisbee, because if you need to move around, like if somebody's trying to block you in front, you need to go around them, you can kind of use both throws to your advantage. So before we start though, some safety tips. We want to make sure that we're kind of always being careful of where we're throwing and making sure we're spread out when we are starting the activities, because we don't want to take a frisbee to the head or anything like that, and making sure that we're like in control. We're not just chucking the frisbee wherever we want and hurting other people, things like that. So for our first activity that we're going to do, we're just going to warm up with some easy partner passing back and forth. You can spread out, find your own space. If you want to stay on the baseline and stand halfway or half court line, you can do that. It might be a little easier. And if you're struggling a little bit in the beginning to throw, just practicing both the backhand and the forehand passes. You can get a little closer if you need to, or there are smaller discs available, maybe if that's a little easier for you to control, or whatever is most comfortable for you. If you are already really good at it, you can also step back and you can stand from farther distance away. So when I say go, everybody can go. Go. All right. For this next activity that we're going to be doing, I call it the zigzag challenge. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to take the two lines that we are already in, and we are going to, I'm going to have this one line come this way towards me a little bit, so everybody's kind of like diagonal to somebody else. So how's this going to work? We're going to work as a team, and we're going to see if we can get the frisbee to pass to one another in a zigzag back and forth until we get to the end. And then once we get to the end, we're just going to come right back without dropping it. The thing is, though, is that if you drop the frisbee at all during it, then it has to start back from the beginning. So for the first round, what we're going to do is we're only going to use the backhand pass or throw. It is the easiest to kind of control, and I feel like a lot of people know how to throw that way better than the forehand pass or the forehand pass. So when I say go, we're going to start with one person over here, and we're going to go back and forth starting just at the beginning, and then if we drop it all, we'll just restart from the beginning. All right, ready? Go. Okay, it seems like you guys got hold of that, so we're going to try doing forehand passes only. It may be a little difficult, but we're going to try our best to do it. If you're struggling at all, you can even move a little closer if you need to, or if you need help, don't be afraid to ask. I can try and help you with the throw. Just make sure that we're focusing on that peace sign behind it and having our thumb on top, and we're kind of turning our body, making sure stepping with opposition and throwing it forward. So when I say go, you can go. Go. All right, for this last activity, we're going to be doing a little ultimate frisbee relay race. So I'm going to split you guys up into three groups. We are going to have each group stationed right next to each other, and we're going to go one by one. Well, not one by one, but you're just going to go one at a time to go and catch the frisbee when you go out. So there are going to be 3 hula hoops set up, there's going to be, they each have a specific point value. So the furthest hula hoop is going to be the most points, of course. Middle hoop is going to be medium points. And then the closest hula hoop is going to be the least amount of points. But depending on what throw you use is going to relate to how many points. So if you use a backhand throw from the closest hula hoop, that's going to be 1 point. It's going to be 2 points for the middle one, and then 3 for the last one. If you're using the forehand throw, it's going to be 2 points for the closest one, 4 points for the closest one, or for the next one, and then 6 points for the last one. So, does everybody understand what's going on? Give me a thumbs up. Awesome. For this activity, we also want to be making sure, since people are going to be right next to each other, we're going to be going really quick. We got to make sure we're not running into each other during the activity, and that we're being in control. And if a Frisbee is loose, make sure keep your head on a swivel at all times. It's just important that we just don't want to get hit or cause any injuries. Also, when we are in line, so this is how the rotation is going to work. We're going to have one person start at the front, and the next person behind is going to be like the thrower. First person is going to be the catcher. The catcher is going to run out to a specific hula hoop, whatever one they choose. It can be the first one, second one, third one. And the thrower has to decide which throw they want to use to throw to that hula hoop. Like I said before, the different point values depending on which one you throw and where you catch it. And then afterwards, the catcher, after they either drop or catch the Frisbee, they're going to hand the Frisbee over to the next person in line after the thrower. And then the thrower is going to be the new catcher, and then the catcher is going to go back to the back of the line. And they're just going to keep rotating and rotating until the time's up. Everybody's all good with that? Awesome. So when I say go, I'm going to set a timer, and we're going to just go until the end of the timer, probably around 2 minutes. Is everybody good? Okay, ready? Go. Okay, great job, everybody. I saw a lot of good progression between everybody's work and how they were throwing it. And it was starting to look really good. Those forehand passes were looking really well. So, does anybody know some of the cues that we worked on in the beginning? Yep. For the backhand? Yes. We're stepping with the same foot, making sure we're keeping our finger on top and the thumb, keeping all of the other fingers underneath, twisting our body and turning and throwing. Good job. So, also, does anybody know what their favorite activity was today, by any chance? The last one? I know, that was mine too. Great job, everybody. Hope everybody has a good rest of the day.